Hey guys, my name is Kaushik and welcome back to LetCode. In our previous video, we have discussed how to drag and drop a particular element, the source element, to the destination element. We have two elements here, so of course we can do the drag and drop very easily using the drag and drop function. But here we have this draggable where we do not have any target element, rather we have only the source element. Now we have to perform this maybe somewhere here. We are just going to move this or drag this within the frame. So to achieve this, we are going to use the same drag and drop concept, but a little bit different here. Let us see how to do that. I have already written this describe block and name is actions, and then we have this before all and a it block and a after all. So we are just waiting for a few seconds so that we can see that what is happening in the browser. Now here we are going to automate this page which is non-angular. So of course we have to say wait for angular enable equal to false. Let us see how to do that. So first await, then browser dot wait for angular enable, and within this we have to pass the parameter as false. So that means when the page get loads, protector is not going to look for any of the protector elements like the ng model or the bindings. It doesn't going to bother about the bindings. So we can automate angular as well as non-angular using protector. Now let us load this URL, and here we will say await browser.get, and within this we have to pass the URL. Very simple, right? Now within the spec block we will write our actual test case. So let me find this element first, and as soon as I do the right click here, you can see that it has some options like view frame source or the reload frame. That means this particular element is within the frame. Now this is our actual element, and if I go a little up here, we can see that this has a frame and with class name, and we have some data here. So I'm just going to check how many frames are there. Of course there is only one frame here, so we can switch using the index as well. So let us see how to do that. So await browser dot switch to frame, and then followed by the frame index value that starts from the 0. Now we already have discussed about the frame in detail, so I will recommend you to check the card to see the frame details. I mean the frame video. And then we are going to find this element. So here we can see that it has a ID of draggable. So I'm just going to copy this, and here we'll say ID. So I'm using the CSS locator here. So dollar sign is used to find the CSS locator, and to find any ID we have to use this hash symbol. And let us store this in a variable. So I will say let maybe I can just name this as my source src, and that's it. Then we have to move this particular um, element in some point. So initially if I refresh my page, it will be in this particular area, so I can just drag and drop maybe somewhere some point. So the basic idea is once I'm moving, I can see that the location of this particular element is going to change, and we have already know that how to find the location of an element. So I will leave a link in the description, you can find the particular video. So first we'll find the location. So here I will say src dot get location, and from the location we are interested on the x, and let us store this in a variable called location x, something like that. Okay, then we are going to find the y. So I'm just going to copy this and paste over here, and here instead of x I will name this as y. So this is going to give us the x coordination and the y coordination of this particular element. So I will name this as y. So we have now our x coordination and the y coordination. Now using this we are going to do the drag and drop. So of course we have to say browser dot actions, then followed by dot drag and drop, and within the drag and drop we have to pass our source element. So that's going to be await src dot get web element, and then we have to pass the x and the y coordination. Now to pass that we have to use this curly braces, and within this we can see that we are able to get two values. One is the x, and here I'm going to say location x, and then comma, and if I call this y, here we can give the y value. So that's going to be location y. I cannot pass the location x and y directly. The reason is, consider this element where it is in the first position, initial position, and it is going to be of 0 and 0. But if I pass the same 0 and 0 and 0 to the drag and drop, of course it's not going to move. So I have to add some value to this so that it's going to move a little from the original position. So for that, I'm just going to give a value of maybe 30 and 50. Let us see how it's going to move. And of course, we have to call the dot perform, or else actions class doesn't get triggered. And here we have to say await. Now let us try to run this. And here you can see that it actually moved from this position to this position. And this is how we have to perform the actions drag and drop by using the location. In Selenium, we have a direct method called drag and drop by, where we have to pass the x and y coordination. But in Protector, it's a little bit different. We have to pass the x and y within the object. So that's it. I think this is pretty much easy. Only thing you have to remember is whenever we are going to pass any, any element within any of the actions class method, and we have to say await and then followed by get web element, or else it is not going to work for sure. And also, I have said in few videos that actions, so that is actually action sequence in Protector. In Selenium it is actions class, but in Protector it is actions sequence. So just the naming, but both are technically same actions. Okay, so I think that's pretty much enough for this video. We will see in the next video very soon.